Here is the map of the route that we took, of course starting in Paris, and the next day we were in Conflans, where you could go and see where Vincent van Gogh lived and died, or Napoleon and Josephine's chateau. From there we headed on to Vernon, and that is where in Giverny where the Claude Monet's house and gardens are. After that we went on to Rouen, where then you catch the coaches to take you out to the Normandy beaches. On the way back, we stopped in Les Andelys, which is again, a nice little quaint town with a huge castle on the hill. And then we ended up back in Paris. Of course, no trip to Paris would be complete without visiting the Eiffel Tower. Our ship was docked only about a half an hour's walk from the base of the Eiffel Tower. Here is a picture of the Category E cabin with just the windows. This is Category B, A, and P, and they have the French balconies. And you can either have the room set up as a queen-size bed, as you can see here, or as two twins, as we had in our cabin. It really is worth it if you can to get the French cabins with the French balcony. You just feel so much more connected to the river. You're so close, and the views and the scenery going right past you, it's wonderful. And you get some nice visitors too. There was also a beverage room that had complimentary cappuccinos, teas, fruit, cookies, snacks laid out all throughout the day. Dinner in the evening was usually around 7 o'clock, and there were tables for 2, 4, 6, 8, and everybody had the same sitting. You just came in and you could sit with other people, and we had some great table mates. This is some of the lovely scenery that goes by while we were eating dinner. One night they brought a trio into the lounge area and played some fantastic music for us. Breakfast every morning was laid out. It was a great buffet. The chef was there too. He was making fresh omelets, pancakes, French toast. And they also had cereal. You could make your own toast. They had baguettes. Let's just say you never went hungry. It is a working river, so many times we would see the tugboats go by with coal and gravel, and these guys sailing by just wanted to give us a wave. In Giverny, we went to Claude Monet's home and visited his gardens, and you can see from the next few pictures how he got his inspiration. It was just beautiful. It was interesting at some of the piers, there wasn't enough room for all of us to dock separately, so as you can see we kind of bunched up here, and then each of us would have to go through the other ship in order to get off, which was kind of fun for me because then I got to peek in and see what the other ships looked like. When we arrived in Rouen, we got to dock right in the center of the city. It was great. You can see from the map here the river kind of splits it into two. Rouen is the capital of Upper Normandy, and some of these buildings date back to like the 12th century. Incredible architecture. It was quite a busy day when we were there. It was a Saturday, and there was lots of locals out doing their shopping and walking around. Couldn't resist taking pictures of their sweet shops. They are beautiful. The presentation, no wonder they stand in line for some of them. They are very appealing. And here's just some more of the architecture from the city streets. We walked across the bridge and took a picture of our ship with the lovely church spire in the background. Here's a good view to show you the ship where you can see the Category E cabins, the windows on the very bottom there by the water level. And then the next two are the ones with the French balconies. They're the same size and everything, just on different decks. We had a great speaker come in the one night and tell us all about the D-Day and the landings on the beaches. There were 2 different tours to choose from to go into Normandy. One was the Canadian-British one, which is the pictures that I have, and then the one for, of course, the U.S. Memorial Beaches. We stopped at the Pegasus Bridge area. There's a fantastic museum here that outside has many of the jeeps and artillery that they had, and inside is a great look of the landing at all the beaches. This was a sample of one of the glider planes that they had open, and then a replica of what it would have looked like inside. There are markers depicting exactly where the planes landed. This was the British cemetery we stopped at. The coastal town of Arromanches is now the sort of hub of the Normandy beaches, with Gold Beach, and then a little bit further down Juno Beach, then Omaha Beach, then Utah Beach. There are a couple of great museums here, one at the base of the hill and then one at the top of this hill. They also had replica tanks in this area. It was a very emotional day for many visiting this area. We got to walk down and be right on the beaches. Some of the concrete blocks are still left in the sand here. Over at Juno Beach there is a memorial that the Canadians have built. You could literally spend hours here listening to all the videos, looking at all the things they've collected. They've got uniforms and just everything you can imagine with regarding to that day. Some of the bunkers are still there. You can see what they would have looked like way back then and what they look like now. This is one of the places that they have restored. And they have some great original pictures along the wall that you'll see in the next few slides. From there we went on to the Canadian cemetery, and it's a just chilling sight to see row after row after row of the tombstones. I asked this lovely Brit if I could take his picture, and we got to talking, and he had quite some stories to tell. Our last stop on the cruise was in Les Andelys, and again a very quaint little town with a chateau up on the hill that we walked up to and got some fabulous pictures. Here's a picture of the two river cruises docked in the river. There was our Avalon Creativity and the Uniworld River Baroness. Some more visitors popped by outside our French balcony. They set up a special crate-making lunch in the lounge. Another wonderful aspect of river cruising is that usually the bridge is open. You can go in for a tour and chat with the captain, and it's just a great friendly atmosphere. From there I went on to the kitchen tour, where the chef explained how everything operated in his area. Going through the locks is always fascinating. Here's a view looking up. And here's a view looking back. Not a lot of room. Our last night at dinner, so I thought I would take a few pictures of our meal to share with you. I was most impressed here when the chef made me a dairy-free version of the Baked Alaska. Our last look at the countryside before we head into Paris.